Previously on the Virginia Triple Crown. After witnessing a breathtaking sunrise at McAfee Knob, we made our way to Tinker Cliffs. After soaking in the views at Tinker Cliffs, we descended back into the valley below to camel up on some water before making the arduous climb up to the top of North Mountain Trail. Here, campsites were in short supply, and we desperately began searching for a suitable place to set up camp. We enjoyed our evening around the campfire, anticipating what lay ahead for us the next morning, traversing to the top of Dragon's Tooth.
I can see the glow of the sunrise. Getting ready to happen.
Good morning. Looks like it's shaping up to be another beautiful day here on the Virginia Triple Crown. The sun's going to be coming up here in about 20 or 30 minutes. It's just after 7 o'clock. It was a cold one last night. I still don't think it got below freezing, but it was windy. We got a 15-mile-an-hour breeze coming through here over the top of this mountain ridge all night long. And even in my 20-degree enlightened equipment quilt with 2 base layers on, I was chilly most of the night. So the comfort rating on that enlightened equipment 20-degree revelation is more like 32 to 35 is my guess. Well, I'm gonna finish my coffee, get packed up, and get on the trail and head towards Dragon's Tooth today. Well, it is shaping up to be another beautiful sunny day here on the Virginia Triple Crown. We just arrived at Grouse Trail, 1.4 miles to Deer Trail. Deer Trail is the final trail that comes up and connects to the North Mountain Trail. I only saw 2 established campsites between Turkey and Grouse. Maybe one other little spot that you could probably accommodate 1 or 2 tents. So not near as many camping options between Turkey and Grouse, so keep that in mind. I'll let you know how many we see between Grouse and Deer. The first campsite we have seen between Grouse and Deer, and we are halfway through already. And this one's not that great. It's pretty sloped. Would not be good for more than 1 or 2 tents. Maybe a couple hammocks. One thing I failed to mention yesterday is that we saw 2 really nice camping options along the Catawba Valley Trail. I think that's what it's called. That leads up from Andy Lane Trailhead to the North Mountain Trail. So you don't necessarily have to go all the way up that 2.5 mile Catawba Valley Trail, because that's a butt kicker. That's a butt kicker of a trail. So yeah, 2 nice viable camping options along the way, maybe half mile to a mile up. All right, we have reached the final spur trail, the Deer Trail that connects up to the North Mountain Trail. And we got 2.2 back to the highway where our truck is parked. Other than the one campsite I showed you between Grouse and Deer, there are no other established campsites. Maybe 2 other spots that were flat enough to set a tent, but not established sites. So very few camping options between Grouse and Deer. The very first campsite I have seen between Deer and Dragon's Tooth. It might be the only one, because we're getting ready to descend all the way down to the trailhead, the final mile. Hey, another campsite. Definitely enough room for a couple tents there, or hammocks. This is the second one between Deer and Dragon's Tooth. We are 3/4 of a mile from Route 311. I think that's the road down here where the Dragon's Tooth trailhead is. A few thoughts about the North Mountain Trail while it's fresh on my mind. Even though we still have a good half mile down to the Dragon's Tooth trailhead, we both feel that going clockwise would be better. It seems more gradual and more beautiful on this side coming down from North Mountain to Dragon's Tooth. And it's only about 1.5 miles. It's 2.5 miles coming up to North Mountain from Andy Lane. And it was brutal. If you would start fresh there, maybe not so much, but you know, we were worn out and it just seemed like it went on forever and ever. So just keep that in mind when you're trying to decide which way to go. I think 95% of the people go counterclockwise. I don't know why that is. I mean, obviously you end up with the same amount of elevation change no matter which direction you go. But if I was to do it again, I would definitely go clockwise. Another reason we would go clockwise is the climb up to McAfee Knob and to Tinker was nearly all uphill. It's gradual, but you're going uphill for miles and miles. Whatever it is, 7, 8, 9 miles, I mean, most of that is going uphill. You would be able to go downhill if you went clockwise. The only issue, the only hard part I see with going clockwise, if you started at Andy Lane, you have a pretty big, almost 3-mile climb up to Tinker. So either direction is going to have its easy parts and hard parts, but like I said, clockwise is the way to go in my opinion. Very pretty on this downhill, a half-mile away from Dragon's Tooth Trailhead. No conifers on the other side from Andy Lane Trailhead up to North Mountain. All right, just to summarize all the camping options along the North Mountain Trail. On the Catawba Valley Trail leading up to the North Mountain Trail, I think we saw at least 2. From that intersection to Turkey, we saw 5 established campsites. From Turkey to Grouse, only 1. No, was it 2? Yeah, I think it was 2. And then from Grouse to Deer, only 1. And then after Deer, heading back down to the parking lot, or Route 311 here at Dragon's Tooth, we saw 2. So there's definitely some options up there. But if you don't get one of those established sites, there's not going to be too many others because of how rocky and sloped the terrain is. We have arrived back to the road. I think it's 311 right here beside Dragon's Tooth Trailhead. We're going to dump some gear out of our packs, take a little snack break, and make our way up to Dragon's Tooth. It definitely got cold last night. So we have arrived to the junction of Dragon's Tooth and to the Appalachian Trail. And there are 2 really nice campsites up here. I think it's a very nice place to camp. So this is 1.7 miles up from the parking lot, and we're going to be going back that way. That's not the way we came up. We came up right here, down that trail. And at this point you have 0.7 left. So this is where it's going to start getting pretty rugged, I think. The trail up to Dragon's Tooth is no joke. Very technical and rugged. At least it only goes for like a half mile. Fortunately, they have nice steps built into the side of the mountain. So here is that sketchy area that I've seen in many videos. There's the white blazes, and it goes right up the side of that rock wall. Awesome. This is the fun stuff. Look at that mountain goat fly right up there. Good stuff. And when you get to the top of that, you are rewarded with a beautiful view of the valley below and the mountains in the background. I love it. All right, just a few more tenths, I think, up to Dragon's Tooth. Almost there. I wish I knew my landmarks around here. I mean, I'm pretty sure we hiked all those mountains right there and beyond. Just about made it to the very top. And you come to this intersection sign. That way is the Appalachian Trail, and a couple miles to the 700 mile mark of Nobo on the Appalachian Trail. Looks like we just got a couple hundred yards this way to Dragon's Tooth. Oh, here it is. I think you can climb up to the top of that. I'm not sure. Whew. Maybe it's around the other side. Definitely not on this side. Definitely a nice view from here. So I brought my drone with me, but it is pretty breezy up here. I don't know. If we take it up, probably gonna be a pretty short flight, because I don't want to lose it down there in that valley. All right, let's go see if we can figure out a way up that, Gavin. Maybe it's on the other side. All right, we're gonna try walking around it this way. That's it right there. So I think you can climb up right there, Gav. Yep, this has got to be the way right here. We're still trying to figure out how to get up there. I think this is the only way. But you can look out here and see how sketchy this is. Sheer cliff that way. And there's the Dragon's Tooth backside right there. A little beyond camera view. Wow. Pretty amazing there. It's sketchy up here, man. I mean, we got like a 3-foot little ledge to sit on. Spooky, isn't it? Man. But this is the top of Dragon's Tooth right here. The highest point. Man, alive. Get your phone out. Let's take some pics. It's pretty calm right now, man. I think we should fly the drone. I'm guessing that's North Mountain right there, that you're on for 9 or 10 miles, and it curves on around out of sight. And then I think that's Tinker's right there. And the McAfee Knob is over in there somewhere. So not only do you have amazing views out this way from the top of the tooth, pretty spectacular out this way as well, right up here in the treetops. It would be fun to bring a hammock and hang out up here for a couple hours and just relax and read, maybe. Another beautiful blue sky day here on Dragon's Tooth. I was just telling Gav that this is by far the best part of the hike. So glad we did not skip this and saved it for last. That made it even more memorable. All right, we're gonna snap a few more pictures and start making our way down to the truck because it's time for lunch. All right, that was a good time up there on top of Dragon's Tooth. Gavin was just up there for some pictures with his iPhone. He's heading back down, and we're gonna call it a trip. This was amazing. So glad we had some time to spend up here at Dragon's Tooth. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Flying the drone was a little sketchy. It was a little breezy up there. It was vibrating and shaking all around. High wind warnings, but we got her back safe and sound. All right, we're just about back down to the trailhead. We're gonna go ahead and wrap up this video here. We had a great little adventure on the Virginia Triple Crown. I highly recommend this trail. However, don't underestimate it. It has some very difficult, rugged, and challenging sections, so keep that in mind when planning your route. And if you are hitting the trail in late fall or winter, like we did, and are trying to knock it out in 2 nights, 3 days, keep in mind that you're probably going to end up on North Mountain Trail unless you start there. So that's what I would do if I was doing it over again. I would knock out the North Mountain Trail section first. Otherwise, you're going to have to camp on North Mountain where there's no water, and you'll have to carry your water in. But anyway, even though this trail was very challenging at times, it was also very rewarding. The 3 iconic overlooks along the trail make it so worth it. Well, thanks for coming along on our little adventure here in Virginia. I really appreciate it. And until next time, I'm Jason Wish, along with my son Gavin. We are wishing you a great time on your next adventure.